Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Barricade. This is Papa Dank. We are live right now. I'm going to bring on my guest, Anthrax, in a few, but I think he has disappeared on me over there. I've been having technical difficulties, so as I wait for him to come back, and he's gone. Let's go over some stuff first. First, we got the big horror event coming up on March 11th. I will be there with myself and Robbie Rebel. He will be joining me at my table. We are going to have also in that arena, Cody Rhodes will be there, Charlotte and Edge. They will be there signing autographs, as well as other talented stars such as the Acclaimed, Sammy Guevara, and Ty Mello, and a host of other guests we have there at the show. Coming up a little later, we'll have Jorge Le Bestia. He'll be on later on tonight after the show. We have also coming up in April the next Victory Pro Wrestling show, Blood, Sweat, and 17 Years, the anniversary show, with none other than the frat star, Dante Drago, the NYC, the New York State Championship himself, Desmond Cole, and others as well. I think Anthrax is back. So without further ado, hello, Anthrax. How are you, sir?
Good. Hopefully this works a little bit. We've been trying this off and on now for like 10 minutes.
I know.
Hopefully we'll get this time.
It happens. It's showbiz, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's start off with how you fell in love with this wonderful world that we call wrestling, that brings people together.
Well, I fell in love with wrestling when I was a little kid. Me and my dad used to watch it together. I think my first memory of it, like my first memory really, like I was 5 years old and we were watching WrestleMania 9.
Mm-hmm.
Give or take, that's not everybody's favorite WrestleMania, but it holds a special place in my heart for that reason. And it just grew from there. As I matured into a teenager, I kind of fell off a little bit, but then discovered the ECW and stuff like that, and my passion just was ignited again. And here I am today.
ECW is awesome, isn't it?
It was a good time. It was a good time.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So now you're growing up, or you've grown up actually. Where did you train, and who have been some of your mentors during that process?
Well, I originally started training. I originally stuck my foot in the ring like 11 or so years ago in Combat Zone Wrestling. I trained there for like 6 or 7 months, and I kind of, real life kind of happened, and I had to step away for a little bit. I came back to training once again with the place called New Moon Rising with people like Joe Gacy and people like that for a couple months. Real life happened again, but then, I pushed everything else aside and said, I'm going to do this now or never. So then I went to H2O, and my mentor and one of my trainers, Matt Tremont, and I was trained by Preacher Phineas James and Mike Quest and a whole bunch of other people that the school has brought in time and time again. People like Homicide, Jenny Rose, Brandon Kirk, the people like that, they just bring in constantly to help you get better. So, but all in all, my main mentor is always going to be Matt Tremont, because he's just like a father figure to me, and he's like, it's hard to explain. He wants you to excel, and he wants you to get better, and he does things the right way. And coming in from like different schools, having seen the way things are done the right way and the wrong way, it's definitely a good thing.
Awesome. All right, now you've graduated. Now you are a wrestler. Tell me about your first match. Tell me about your first match. Who was your opponent, and what were some of the emotions you were going through while you were going through your first match?
Well, at H2O, we used to run this thing, like a developmental thing called Undiscovered, and that was like every other Monday. And that was where my first match was. It was against Big Red Ryan Redfield.
Mm-hmm.
And going into that match, it was the main event of the show. And the nerves were very high because I had friends and family there. And then
Mm-hmm.
people that just didn't even know me, or they knew me and saw me like helping out and stuff as staff.
Right.
But, there was people that just didn't know me. So going in there and just like trying to portray this character that I wanted to get across, and
Right.
it was a very, very emotional time. I remember going to Matt that day for like advice all throughout the day. And after it was all said and done, I was very relieved because the crowd loved it. And Matt said it felt like a main event match, and that was like my first match. I was like, well, that's very overwhelming.
Right. Okay. I mean, I would be overwhelmed. That's for sure. We got a comment right here. Anthrax beats Papa Deck via KO. First of all, I won't even get in the ring with you. So you don't have to KO me because I'm just gonna say, nah, not me, sir. Serena, who is my booker, says he's just Matt Tremont. He's a legend and a leader for others. Everyone knows who he is. That is true, Serena.
Yeah.
Hi to everybody in the chat. How are you? All right, let's start off with who has been your favorite or / toughest opponent you've faced so far?
My favorite, I guess favorite and toughest, probably Low Life Louis Ramos, because we faced each other more times than I can actually count. Let's see, probably like 5 or 6 times now, but all throughout the course of a year in this big story. And the thing about Louis is he just doesn't stay down. The man feels no pain, and you just can't keep him down. And plus, on the flip side, he was very much like a mentor to me as well because, he wanted to see me succeed. And that's why he first wanted to face me when I was very new, but he wanted to give me that shot because he saw something in me. So it really meant a lot to me. And to keep the story that we had going and going, and eventually having this blow off back in December at an event called Tour Dreads with me and my partner Alex Stretch versus him and his son, and it was his son's first match. It was an honor for me to be able to do that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So I say overall, my favorite and toughest opponent is probably always going to be Louis.
Okay. All right. Is that where you get? Now I'm going to read this, and I'm not going to use the cursing words in it. Right? Your nickname is, even though we can curse on the show. Screw it. I'll say it. The motherfucking suplex machine.
Yeah,
how you got your nickname?
Correct. That is my nickname.
Hey, that's a great nickname. They just call me Alf. So
I mean, I was given that name, like somebody said it one time and it stuck. Somebody called me the psychotic suplex machine one time, and I was like, I like it, but I need to make it me. And that's basically, I was like, I'm just going to call myself the motherfucking suplex machine.
Now, is that on a shirt?
It will be. It will be very.
It has to be on a shirt.
It will be very soon.
You're gonna sell a ton of those, let me tell you. Now, whose suplex do you think is better, yours or Lesnar's?
Oh, jeez. Obviously, Brock Lesnar has me beat there. But you know what? There's been times where I've just German suplex people around the ring like 5 or 6 or 7 times in concession because of Brock Lesnar. So
nice. All right, let's go into. Hey, how about an opponent you haven't wrestled, but you've kept your eye on this person? Tell me about that opponent you would like to wrestle.
There's so many. There's really a lot. Me and Matt Tremont himself have never faced one-on-one. We faced in tag team, but one-on-one is really what I want. There's a lot of like deathmatch legends that I haven't faced yet, and I would love to get in the ring with people like Eric Ryan and Bobby Beverly. There is somebody out of the school that I haven't faced yet that I would love to face one-on-one, and that's Rocket. And I feel like me and Rocket could have a really good match, but we have never faced one-on-one.
Okay. Now you're currently the H2O Undiscovered Champion.
That's it. Not currently.
That's not current?
Um,
Okay.
no. So I did lose that belt a couple months back.
Okay.
But when I lost it, it was the last time because the belt was then retired.
Retired.
Yeah.
351 days?
Yeah. It was a while. I was champion for a while.
Okay.
But when I lost it,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, I didn't feel any type of way because the person I lost it to was a wrestler by the name of Brian Neal, and I was happy to lose to him because I see so much potential in him. He has the
Yeah.
heart, he has the look, he has the ability. So to be able to lose to him be the final Undiscovered champion, that was fine with me because the match itself was great. For
Right.
anybody out there that wants to check it out, it is on IWTV
Right.
under the H2O banner. It was a really good match. It was a triple threat. Actually, it was me versus him versus Big Red. So that was kind of like a little throwback there.
Okay. Now tell me. Now I'm sure being in H2O, you've been in all types of gimmick matches.
Yes.
Tell me about one of your favorites and why is it your favorite?
Favorite gimmick match. I mean, I usually just death matches as a whole, but death match is there's so many creative ways to do a death match, and people just think it's just hit people with stuff, and it's there's more to it than that. There's the
There is more
wrestling
to it,
aspect.
right?
Correct. There's like the wrestling aspect where you implement the weapons but use them in a creative fashion, stuff like that. Gimmick wise, I was in a no rope barbed wire match with me and my partner Alex Stretch versus Matt Tremont. This was the tag match I faced Matt Tremont and Low Life Louie.
Okay.
And I've always been a fan of the no rope barbed wire match because it can be so creative. So I'd say that's probably my favorite type of match, gimmick match that I've actually done.
Okay.
If you go off and just say what was your favorite gimmick to use, like that's a whole different
It's a whole different
stuff.
story.
I've used so many.
That's a different type of question. Yeah. Hey, has there been a match that you haven't been in that you want to be in?
Ladder match.
Ladder match. Okay.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do a ladder match. There was an opportunity to do one, but that got scrapped. So maybe sometime in the future. I would say Psycho Circus, but here I am.
We're going to talk about Psycho Circus a little bit later, which I'm excited to talk about because this is Psycho Month for me because of Psycho Circus.
Yeah.
Like all this week, I have either H2O or NYWC for this thing. Now, this is going to be big out here. Over 400, I'm here.
I've heard a little more because they moved the venue.
I heard that too.
So the last time I checked, there was only 20 general admission tickets left. So this is the biggest show I've ever performed in front.
It might hit 600 from what I'm hearing as well.
I hope so. That's goosebumps right there.
It's a big deal out here. Let me tell you, it's a big deal. Just throwing it out there. Let's talk about that match in a few. Let's go with some of your hobbies that you like to do outside of wrestling.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really have too many, honestly. I usually just work and spend time with my children. That's pretty much it for me. Like I work, wrestle, and then spend time with my children. Like if I can go out, I'll go out, do something fun, maybe go to a movie or something like that. But gotcha. I have 4 kids, so there's not much free time. There's not much room to move around there.
Yeah, I like to spend time with my kids too. Now, my one son, he's starting to hit the gym hard because he wants to go to wrestling school. So he wants to be in the business, which I'm very excited about. So spending time with him, we do this stuff together, so it's fun stuff. So I understand that. And I think I lost you. I lost Anthrax. Oh no. Oh man. All right. Well, hopefully he'll get back on real soon, and then we can talk about the season premiere of Vlog Interaction. It is coming up this month, so you're not going to want to miss that. And I think Anthrax is back. You're back?
We're back. We were working there for like 14 minutes, and then all of a sudden it just capped out.
Oh no! Did you hear what I was saying to you?
You were saying something about your kid, your one son, and that's when it started. It started
Yes.
tapping out.
He's also started hitting. I know, Serena. He's also starting to hit the gym. He wants to go to wrestling school, and out here in Long Island, probably one of the best schools out here is Creative Pro. I think that's where he's going to end up.
Creative Flow is a definitely, from what I understand, there's definitely a great school. I would love to actually wrestle for Creative Pro one day. I love what they do. I've seen a lot of their shows.
Right.
I love what they do. It seems like a blast.
Right. Well, we work out of Victory Pro Wrestling out here. That's where we film our vlog stuff and some of our interviews. And he's currently the 23-6 championship champion. I don't know where he is. He's over here somewhere with the belts. He's polishing it up, you know. It's his prized possession. He just won it back because he was injured for a while. So I know I just spoiled the whole next season premiere, but hey, I'm excited for him. He's ready. All right, let's go into. Oh, you don't collect anything? You're not a collector?
I have I have bits and pieces of stuff. I think my one prize possession is probably this autographed Jake the Snake Roberts figure that I have. That's probably like my prized possession. I'm not too big into collecting stuff, but I do have, some stuff. I had at one point a pretty vast Star Wars collection as a child.
Me too.
I grew into a teenager and then realized how valuable it was at the time, and then I sold it. And I wish I kept on it, but
I wished I sold it. My parents threw it away on me. They thought that was too old to have toys. I'm talking about like the original stuff, like the Millennium Falcon, the Endor set, some of the original stuff.
Most of my stuff was when they started making figures in the 90s.
Oh, for Phantom Menace?
Not for just Phantom Menace, but I forget what the series was called. But I remember the card backs being like black and green and different, and then there was some that were black and purple and stuff like that.
I know which ones you're talking about.
So I had a lot of them.
All right, let's jump into Psycho Circus for a minute. All right, change of venue. Too many people for the old venue. We got H2O versus NYWC. How did that come about?
Well, from what I understand, Mouse has this gripe with NYWC, and it's not without his reasons. Where he's sick of being overshadowed, and they think they're hardcore, but they have, and I can honestly tell you, they have no idea what hardcore actually is.
No, idea.
We'll show them on Saturday. But as for right now, I'm just saying I don't think they really have any idea what hardcore is. Now, I don't think anybody on their team has any idea what hardcore is, except for, in my opinion, Aiden, because Aiden was a part of H2O. It still is a part of H2O. He just performed at King of the No Ring 2. So maybe he has an idea, but I can tell you right now that they're in for it. See, I got the call from Mouse to come in and be his tag team partner when Matt couldn't make it, and I said sure, and I jumped on that opportunity, and here we are right now. I didn't even think I was going to be in Psycho Circus. I was just doing Mouse a favor, but here I am in one of the biggest matches of my career.
In a big match, it's hold on. Let me look at this card. 5-on-5.
5-on-5.
Who's on your
War
team?
Game style.
War game style. Who's on your team? I see Mouse is there. I don't know some of the other guys.
Ross and Bradley. They are 3-time I believe it is now, 3-time H2O Tag Team Champions.
Hmm.
They are Tremont's Tag Team Tournament of Death winners.
Okay.
They have performed all over the place. They have performed for the likes of ICW, and they are H2O regulars.
Right.
So they are two big, mean, scary men.
I can see from the picture over here that I'm looking at. I'd be scared. I'm just saying. I'm 50 over here, so. And now you got the NYWC team. You got JT Kaysen, Tommy Rant, Sage Chance, the Slime Balls, Aiden Ball. I hope I'm saying it right, and Nuke versus you guys. That's quite a team you got there. Holy cow! Oh, I think I lost him as I'm rambling. Hold on. I lost you as I was rambling.
It's perfectly fine. Yeah, Mouse, Ross and Bradley, and myself, and the man himself, Matt Tremont. So that's a pretty heavy team.
That's a scary team.
It's pretty heavy duty team.
I mean, yeah. So what's you guys' approach to this upcoming match? Team approach.
I think I can fully speak.
Is it going to get violent?
Yeah, I think I can speak for everybody, but our approach is simply just violence and brutality, and to really just show NYWC that we are the definition of hardcore. Like, you guys don't really have a clue, but that's fine. I mean, they can believe what they want, but come Saturday, we're going to show them exactly what hardcore is all about.
Oh man, I feel bad for those guys. And one of those guys, I know, Tommy Rant from the Slime Balls.
Well, I mean,
Tommy.
I have nothing against the Slime Balls or anybody on the team. I actually personally like the Slime Balls, but business is business.
Business is business. You guys got to handle your business, right?
Exactly.
So, what are some of your goals for 2023?
Goals for 2023 is to really just branch out more. I've been saying a lot in promos and stuff like that, and I truly mean this, that 2023 is going to be my year. There are some crazy things on the horizon, and Psycho Circus is one of them, and my goal for 2023 is I'm aiming to basically show the world why I'm the next generation of hardcore wrestling, why I'm the next generation of deathmatch wrestling. It's just, having Matt Tremont as my teacher and my mentor isn't just, a cool staple. That's the man I look up to, and that's the man that I want to, those are my goals, to be there one day. And it all starts this year. I think this year I'm going as hard as I possibly can.
Now, I'm glad you brought up promos. How important are promos?
What about promo?
How important are promos?
Very important. The promos are just as important as your look. You can't. You have to be able to talk, and not many people, will get it right away. Like, I'm still learning, but eventually it comes over time. My advice to people struggling with promos is, just be natural, just be yourself.
Okay.
The whole cliche of "I'm gonna kick your butt" is just it's not believable anymore. Just be yourself. That's what I believe. Just be yourself. But promos in general are very, very important to sell the show, to sell the match, to sell yourself.
Okay, now I'm going to put you on the spot. I was leading up to this. Cut a promo on your upcoming match versus NYWC for Psycho Circus.
How long do you want the promo to be?
As long as you want.
All right.
We have time.
All right. This Saturday at NYWC, it's H2O versus NYWC. Who is really hardcore? Well, I don't think they really know what hardcore actually is, because we're bringing 5, myself included, of the best hardcore wrestlers anywhere. New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, you name it. I guarantee you blood will be spilled. And even if it's our own, that's fine. That's what we like. But come Saturday, we're going to put you down for good in the Psycho Circus. Bring any types of weapons you want. I know the setup. I've seen it. Barbed wire cage, some thumbtacks here and there. That's child's play compared to what I've been through and what my teammates have been through. Matt Tremont, 15 plus years in this business, bleeding buckets all over the world. And you really think you stand a chance against us? See you Saturday.
That was great. I loved it.
It's hard to cut a promo when your teammates aren't here, so you have to talk for them.
I know. That's why I love when I put people on the spot. It's a new thing I've been doing with promos, to just put somebody to throw them off, because I don't think anybody asks on interviews to cut a promo real quick.
It's good to learn that way, just out of the blue. It's
out of the blue, right?
It's a good training technique.
It just comes off more naturally if you're just out of the blue. You're like, okay, blah 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 blah. All right, here I go.
We used to do this thing. We did this thing maybe 2 or 3 times in training, where they would pick a random inanimate object, cut a promo on that, like the fire extinguisher. Cut a promo on the fire extinguisher right now. And it's just like, it's so out of the blue and so crazy, but at the same time, it helps.
Oh, absolutely. Like going to other venues and meeting other people, other promoters, other people in the business. I mean, it's just for you to, as a wrestler, not just you in particular, anybody, to grow as a wrestler and as a performer.
Exactly, and that's just as important. Just getting out there and go. Not even if that's my advice to up and coming wrestlers. Even if you're not wrestling, going to a show and traveling. Like if you know somebody that's going to a show and just going with them and meeting the promoter and networking and introducing yourself, Absolutely. It goes a long way.
It's the same with podcasting. Getting guests.
I can imagine that, but that's show business.
That's show business. All right. Now, a big part of what happens in this industry is ribbing. So tell me about a time that you played a rib on someone and one that was played on you.
Let me think.
Yeah, I've heard some good ones.
Let me see. Well, to be fair, I don't think I've ever played a rib or had a rib played on me. I can tell you a funny moment. Like there was a time in training where they would pick random theme music for us and we would have to come out and portray that character. I, of course, got Stone Cold Steve Austin. Everybody laughs. Everybody has a good time because I'm bald and I have boots. So automatically there's that. I can't really recall any time I've ever been ribbed or ribbed somebody else. It's I guess I consider myself lucky, maybe. I don't know.
Have you seen anybody get ribbed?
Not.
Or is that very more difficult during at H2O where everything's a little violent?
No, I don't think it's difficult.
No?
I've just never seen anybody really get ribbed like that before. No, I can't recall anything majorly being joking around, joking with your friends and poking fun. Yeah, that's different. It's not like Owen Hart pooping in Sable's bag or whatever it was,
Right.
Or Sean Waltman cutting off Michael Hayes' hair. It's not like that.
Okay. Just be careful because now it's open that you haven't been ribbed yet. So hide your gear.
Well, hey man. If they do something with my gear before I gotta go on, I guess I'm going out in my street clothes.
That happens a lot. Gear. Or championships. They'll take your championship and hide it somewhere.
Oh, I've actually had that happen when I was Undiscovered Champion. I couldn't find my belt, and I was wondering where it was after the match was over. And there's a wrestler named Frank Benetti, and he's walking around with the belt on, and I'm like, you son of a bitch.
There you go. You were ribbed.
That's just because that's just because he's an asshole. He knows he's an asshole. At that point, he was so hung go about like winning this belt, and he just would always like take it and put it on his shoulder, or just walk around with it. And I'm just like, he never won the belt though, so jokes on him. I guess.
Jokes on him. That's right. Talk about besides Psycho. Everybody knows about Psycho Circus. It's this Saturday. Change of venue. It's in Farmingville now. The Farmingville Fire Department, right?
Farmingville, the fire department. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I better know. I'm going to be there, so I better get the right place.
For me, it's not too bad. For me, it's like another I think it's like an hour more. So it's like 3 hours and 30 minutes with tolls. So it's not too bad.
Okay, you're not carpooling with anybody?
I think we are carpooling. I think me, Alex Stretch, and Matt are going down together. I think that's the plan.
Got you.
But definitely carpooling. Definitely carpooling.
Got you. I'm carpooling too, and I'm like 15 minutes away. I want to have a couple of beers, man. I need to relax and have fun.
Hey, man, that's just what I like. If I'm going to go to a party or something, it's the same thing. Like I don't want to drive home. I'll just Uber.
That's right. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you out here. I mean, we got 3-hour drive. Yes, Serena. Hopefully we'll see how we got other promotions, and I'll go over one of those promotions in a little bit. But plug away some of your other appearances coming up after Psycho Circus, or even anything before.
Well, just released on IWTV, there was a King of the No Ring Deathmatch Tournament 2 that H2O did, so you could check that out.
Okay.
I'm in that, but on Saturday, H2O had our biggest deathmatch tournament of the year, I'd say, up to this point. It was Tremont's Angels of Death. Tremont's Angels of Death. That is now on IWTV. That happened on Saturday. I would suggest checking that out. I'm not in it, but it was a hell of a good time. Okay. Coming up for me, besides Psycho Circus, Monday Night Death from the H2O Wrestling Center on March 6th. I believe it's the 6th. It's a Monday. Besides that, I've worked for this place called Atlantic All-Star Wrestling. I hope to be back with them soon. I would have been on their show coming up this Saturday, but of course, Psycho Circus, so I could not do that. Right. Probably the next one. I wrestled for this company called XBW. I wrestled a legend in death matches called the Hellaware Assassin. That was a bloody good time. Yeah. Besides that, all my work is on IWTV under the H2O banner. If you want to go check out some of the stuff I've had some crazy matches. You can go back on there and see the match where I broke my leg. That's a fun thing to do.
Ouch. Maybe we'll go over that some other time when we get together. plug away your social media where everybody can follow you.
Instagram and Twitter, ANTHRAXX H2O on both with two X's.
Okay. All right. As for myself, I will be hanging out with Robbie Rebel at the big horror event coming up on March 11th right here in Queens, New York. Oh, man, I got to get that clear. It's a little blurry. Plus, I'll be on March 18th at Icons of Wrestling Spring Fling with Robbie as well. That'll be a good show. We got there's Psycho Month. That's still rolling on this week. We got the upcoming Vlog Interaction season premiere, which I spoiled a little bit. But watch it anyway because it's going to be good. Good time on that. As always, I film my Vlog Interaction at Victory Pro Wrestling. Another great promotion out here, ANTHRAXX. So look into DPW. Blood, Sweat, and 17 years.
I'm open to working anywhere.
That's right. Make some connections and stuff.
Hey, if you want to book me and you want me to go out there and throw people, if you want me to tag, or if you want me to just get hardcore, I can do whatever you want. I can do whatever I want. I'm just trying to get out there.
Do you recognize anybody on the poster?
I recognize two people. One being Cade. He was in H2 for a little while. I know him. Uh, and I recognize somebody else, but I'm not really sure of their name. But I definitely have seen them around.
Which one?
The one all the way to the right with their arms crossed and the glasses.
Oh, that's Desmond Cole,
Yeah,
the current
that's
New York State champion.
yes. I think he's been at a couple Sean Henderson production shows. I've seen him work, and I was very much a fan of him.
Yeah, I bump into Desmond all the time. But he's a good guy. But we have also Dante Drago. He'll be there. The current VPW champion, Eric James, is there. Johnny Collins is coming back. We got Valentina Vasquez, our women's champion. We got Mr. Tibbs and the social media champion, Jack Tomlinson, there. So make sure you get your tickets for victoryprowrestling.com for Victory Pro Wrestling on April 15th. And they are also doing sponsorships for your favorite wrestler. How important is sponsorships, Anthrax?
It's very important. H2O, we don't really like. We're just a mom and pop place, the little engine that could. That's how we do it. Not many sponsorships, but we have been getting a couple here and there. If you go back and watch the Tremont's Angels of Death that happened this past Saturday, we had all the sponsors literally hand painted on the ring. It was a beautiful sight.
Right.
And
That's
we appreciate them because we're just like a mom and pop thing. We don't have. It's very important, but we don't have that. We're just doing everything like out of pocket. We're growing every day, and when they say don't sleep on H2O, it's really that's the truth. Like we don't have sponsorships or anything like that. We're growing. But we love what we do, and the fans are very much the heart and soul of H2O. That's what keeps us as a company and as us as wrestlers growing.
Awesome. Serena says someone can sponsor you, Anthrax. Absolutely.
Hey, I'm all for sponsorship.
And let's support independent wrestling. The heartbeat of wrestling is independent wrestling, in my opinion.
Please support me as I bleed buckets for your entertainment.
Literally, you're bleeding buckets.
literally bleeding buckets for your entertainment.
Before we go, I want to show you this championship belt, the 23-6 title. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, it is the 23-6 title right there. The most coveted title in all of YouTube. Just so you know, 23-6 rules. Look how beautiful that belt is. Handcrafted in Australia by Bushman. I mean, that's what I was told.
What is 23-6 rules?
It's defended 23 hours a day, 6 days a week. Sunday is the day off, and you pick the hour you want off. Now, I suggest an hour late at night so you can catch some C's. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was champ, I was the first champion. When I was champ, they tried to pin me while I was sleeping. Lucky for me, I sleep with one eye open.
Hey.
So. Anthrax, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you just talking about Psycho Circus as well. Your team, H2O versus NYWC. No doubt this will be a show that's going to make some waves out here on Long Island and hopefully in the whole Northeast. So thank you very much. That's right. And I don't know if I'll be able to see you there because I'll probably be like this amongst the crowd. But if I see you, I'll say hello.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. We'll be back soon with Jorge La Bestia coming up at 8 o'clock now. It's been a long day, Anthrax. Let me tell you. It's not easy being a podcaster either. That's why I have Serena to keep me in check.
Yeah, she's got your back.
She's got my back. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Anthrax, stick around for a second after the broadcast. Thank you, everybody. Good night.